Police officer charged in condom-eating saga. Baki declares 2016 as Year of Discipline for Police. And PKA Rapatona back in the winner's circle.
This is National EMTV News with Hope Imaka.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Sunday's news. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has reiterated his position on a number of Bougainville issues, including Rio Tinto's interest in BCL shares, which have arisen in the media. He said the national government was committed to improving the delivery of basic services to the people of Bougainville as topmost priority. The Prime Minister said recent decisions, including the rebuilding of the main roads, including Kokopau to Arawa and to Buin, and the awarding of contracts, is a clear example of this decision. He said the restoration of the Arapa Airport, sealing of the Buka Town Road and the Arawa roads are important ongoing investments. His other main reasons to restate his position was to make clear that autonomous Bougainville government issues had always been openly discussed between leaders, and decisions like whether or not to reopen the Panguna mine remains the sole decision of the Bougainville people and the ABG government. A female police officer is now in police custody in relation to the condom saga incident in Port Moresby last month. Police Commissioner Gary Baki confirmed this afternoon that the officer is in the Baroko holding cell. Baki said police are narrowing down in the investigations and one more police officer will be arrested.
In the video that went viral on social media, showing the victim being forced to chew and swallow at least 3 condoms, the voice of a male police officer can be heard. This police officer has been identified, and Commissioner Baki said he will be brought back into Port Moresby to be officially arrested and charged. The male officer is currently in the Highlands region.
Last night we've identified that policewoman. She's been interviewed, arrested and charged. She's now behind the cells. The policeman, a abscond from NCD, is currently up in the Southern Highlands. We've already spoken to the police in Southern Highlands to pick him up in Nipa and bring him back into Port Moresby.
This is the video that went viral on social media. It shows the female victim in a round neck t-shirt being forced to swallow condoms taken from a bilum. The female victim is identified to be from Kairoku in the Central Province. Police investigations reveal the incident occurred in an interview room at the Baroko police station.
Now she was subject to ridicule and abuse in the office. Now from the information that has been available through the interview, the record of interview, there was a policeman and a policewoman involved in this matter. The policewoman was the one that was taking pictures of the young lady swallowing the condom.
The female officer who has been detained in relation to the incident will appear before the Komito courts tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
A house in Geruhu Stage 2 in the National Capital District went up in flames last night. The fire claimed no lives or casualties. However, everything in the house was razed to the ground.
It was around 7:30 last night when a house in Geruhu Stage 2 went up in flames. Joseph Sa, the owner of the house, said there was no one in the house at the time of the fire. However, their belongings were burnt to ashes with the house. The fire service got to the site in time, but there was very little they could do to save the building.
Firemen come close to, but only no water. Legally, what I come to you, see me now we come back long.
The cause of the fire is unknown at this stage, and many claim it was because of an electrical fault. Iga Charlie, an eyewitness from across the street, claimed the fire started from the master bedroom and made its way to the living room and the entire house.
Me got tired of house plomina, all got a paper plomina, all got a document plomi, one of them married, beginning all got a fire. Everybody stop outside. Now everybody stop nothing now.
Sa said he has been living in that house for more than 20 years and was devastated when he lost all that he and his family have come to build. He and his family are appealing to the general public, their family, and want talks to assist them in any way possible as they have lost all in the fire. Louisa Frank, National EMTV News.
Gerahu Fire Service Superintendent John Geraresi says water rationing by Edaranu across the nation's capital is affecting their work. He said this while giving the details of a fire incident at Gerahu Stage 2 yesterday in Port Moresby. Erica Rupma with this report.
The Gerahu Fire Service Superintendent says due to water rationing across the city, their response to the fire incident has been affected. He said this while responding to a recent fire incident at Gerahu Stage 2 yesterday. Mr. Geraresi said the fire service truck is carrying only 1,500 liters of water to incidences in the Gerahu area.
They should take care of the fire hydrants. The fire hydrants on the street in front of the houses. So these hydrants should be utilized in times of emergencies. So that is one thing I would like to emphasize and encourage everybody to take ownership of those fire hydrants.
They have run out of water supply because of Edaranu's water rationing program. Superintendent Geraresi said because of limited water, they cannot respond to serious calls like this.
Through Gerahu suburb was cut off between 6:30, and the fire call was received at 7:13, which was 7:13. So all the fire hydrants within Gerahu suburb were dry. I requested Edaranu assistance, but assistance was late.
He said they had to refill at Waigani Fire Service Station and come back to Gerahu to put out the fire. Superintendent Geraresi said the slow progress in putting off the flame has resulted in the house being burned to the ground.
Poroko crews and the Gerahu crews have to drive all the way to Waigani Fire Station where they had a effective pressure there, refill the both units, and return back to the fire ground to bring the pocket fires. And it was at 10 o'clock when the firefighting operation was completed, then returned back to the respective stations.
Eric Aruma, National EMTV News.
Police Commissioner Gary Baki has declared 2016 as the year of discipline. This follows recent allegations leveled against the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary on police brutality and the breakdown on command and control. Baki's declaration is a response to Prime Minister Peter O'Neill's intention to weed out ill-disciplined officers and create a good image for the constabulary.
Commissioner Baki said commanders will be held accountable to ensure that the disciplinary process within the constabulary is strictly enforced nationwide. He described police brutality as abnormal police behavior and goes against the fundamental duty and functions of a police officer. Between 2007 and 2014, the Constable Internal Affairs Directorate registered over 1,600 cases of police brutality. Over 300 were classified as criminal cases implicating RPNGC members, and more than 270 officers were dismissed from the force.
But as the police commissioner, I will maintain a zero tolerance on the level of police brutality. For 2016, I will redeclare this year as the year of discipline in the organization.
Since last Tuesday, at least 4 police officers in Port Moresby were arrested and charged for sexual assaults, malicious damage to state property, and armed robbery. Following recent media publications on the ill disciplinary actions by police officers, the public have questioned the kind of training police recruits undergo at the Bomana Police Training College. This afternoon, Police Commissioner Gary Baki, the police head said training at Bomana is the best there is, and the public cannot blame the college for the ill disciplinary actions taken by individual officers while on duty.
We are doing our part, and we need also the public to help us identify rotten apples within the organization to deal with them. It is our intentions, sir, in our interest, that abusive, corrupt, undisciplined members will be identified and removed from the organization.
In another interview with NCD and Central Divisional Commander Sylvester Kalaut, the Assistant Commissioner made similar remarks, stating that the recruitment process will be tightened as a measure to restore command and control.
Our recruitment system should be tightened so that we have good aptitude tests, at least with some psychologists involved, so that we get the best candidates to be members of the Royal Public Constabulary.
Following the declaration, a number of initiatives will be introduced into the force to minimize police brutality cases and transform the constabulary into a trusted, community-oriented police service. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Stay with us for more local and overseas news after this break. Welcome back. Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister and Yangon Sausia MP Richard Maru is calling for a full-scale investigation into the death of a man from his district employed by Ramu Nickel Mine in Medang. The minister claimed the man was murdered whilst working in the mine's pit. Minister Maru called for an investigation into the death of Kenneth Yaris and questioned the safety and operating standards of the Chinese-owned nickel mine.
The death of Kenneth Yaris from Yangon in East Sepik province has raised questions about safety of employees employed by Ramu Nickel Mine. Kenneth was killed 2 weeks ago at the mine's pit while on the night shift. The cause of his death was unknown, but police from Medang Criminal Investigation Division are investigating his death. The deceased married to a woman from the Usino area and worked as a mine operator. Ramu Nickel says investigation is continuing, and once completed, they will respond formally to the deceased family. But Yangon Sausia MP Richard Maru is not satisfied about the news. Mr. Maru called for a full-scale investigation to make certain whether the mine is operating within world standards and whether the mine inspector has been diligent in enforcing safety compliance. Minister Maru received reports that there are no proper lighting, fencing and security at the mine's pit. But MCC says the body is at the Medang Hospital morgue awaiting a post-mortem, and they will respond after the police investigation completed. Mr. Maru demanded the mine to meet repatriation cost of the late Kenneth Yaris, or he will pursue legal action against the company. Quinten Alomp, National EMTV News.
Vanuatu has been warned of Cyclone Ula's approach after it hit Fiji and Tonga last week. The cyclone warning was upgraded to a Category 4 with winds up to 165 kilometers per hour at its center. Vanuatu's meteorological service reported damaging winds, torrential rain and rough seas tonight. Tafea province, which was hit the hardest by last year's Cyclone Pam, was issued a red alert with residents warned to seek shelter. Despite the oncoming danger, Vanuatu's Oxfam country director said communities are ready for disaster this time around, working to ensure food, water supplies and shelter are accessible. Chukai Sports is next. We have NSL, Taekwondo in Port Moresby and Australia win the Hopman Cup. Stay tuned for the details.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. To football first, and PKA Rapatona have jumped back into the winner's circle in the Telecom National Soccer League with a 3-1 victory over Erema Gulf FC. Goals by Henry Ronnie, Jason Wesley and Patterson Eliza ensured the side remains in contention for the second stage.
Rapatona had to contend with a new-look Erema FC as former Oro captain Gary Moka partnered Tawini up front for the Gulf side. After the loss of midfielder Michael Foster to Lae City Dwellers 2 weeks ago, Rapatona appeared to lack creativity in the middle as replacement midfielder Henry Ronnie stood in. A slow and comfortable first half, and while Erema had slightly better possession, Toru Simo's miss early on showed that both sides were playing hopeful football rather than showcasing a purpose-laden attack. Neither side imposing authority on the match, although Rapatona did have consecutive opportunities on goal. However, with 7 minutes remaining, Rapatona took the lead. Joshua Oscar brought down in the box, and Henry Ronnie coolly slot in home for a 1-0 lead into half-time. The resumption after the break saw Erema push forward more for the equalizer, but it was substitute Michael Gitter would contribute soon after. An opportunity on goal, however, denied inches away from an open goalmouth. Moments later, an unfortunate deflection, and striker Peterson Elijah would turn the ball into his own net. The celebrations for Erema, however, short-lived. Rapatona substitute Jason Wesley with a beautiful pirouette to put his side in the lead. That set the pace for Rapatona. Sensing victory and driven by confidence, they began controlling possession. The final nail in the coffin for Erema, a solo run by Peterson Elijah, who redeemed himself well for his earlier misdemeanor by scoring his side's final goal. Rapatona victorious by 3-1. Jeremy Moggy, National, MTV Sports.
Yesterday saw Lay City dwellers beat Goroka Goshia 4-2 in an entertaining encounter at the National Sports Institute in Goroka yesterday. The dwellers' strong defense was key, denying Goshia's striker from having an opportunity at goal.
Dwellers kicked off to a flying start, scoring in the early minutes of the first half through Joachim Waroi. Raymond Gunemba added the extra from a powerful shot from the corner, catching the goalkeeper off guard. Goroka replied with a goal from Roger Miamba, who shockingly scored from a penalty kick at the halfway mark. Score remained 2-1 at half-time. In the second half, Goroka came in determined to level the scores, but were denied their chances. Dwellers then managed to sneak one more behind the net, bringing their score up to 3-1. Dwellers' last goal, and getting his second, was Joachim Waroi, who scored from a penalty kick, carrying the ball over the defenders into the net. Goroka then managed to score their second from a beautiful through ball from Matthias Apo to Stephen Angunam, who belted the ball past the keeper. As the game progressed, many missed opportunities from both teams, so the game came to an end, leaving the scores at Goroka Gosia 2 and Lay City Dwellers 4. Elijah Levette, National MTV Sports, Goroka.
Veteran martial artist Jamuga Stone will recommence his Stones Taekwondo training for this year at its new location, the Jungle Gym at Tokarara.
The head of the Stones Taekwondo organization, Master Jamuga Stone, is veteran martial arts with more than 41 years experience. Stones Taekwondo have been in operation since 1990. The organization has gone through trying times but have survived and continued through the years. Stone believes community initiatives like the Jungle Gym will encourage youths to participate in meaningful activities and change their mindset. There are 3 categories of the program: the Little Dragons aged 7 to 12 years, Young Warriors 13 to 20 years, and City Warriors 21 to 35 years.
Discipline, to respect that. So my club here, we don't really, we don't not only focus on sports, we focus on the true aspect of Taekwondo, the traditions of Taekwondo, which is the philosophy.
Martial arts can be used as a powerful tool to cultivate a strong character and instill discipline in young and old people alike. Stone is building the Jungle Gym as the hub fitness activities in Tokarara and June Valley. The gym was sponsored by MRDC last year with 8,000 worth of training gears.
Team NCD Taekwondo has nominated a new coach, Sam Ware, who will take the team to the PNG Games this year in Kimbe, West New Britain. Ware will replace veteran coach Jamuga Stone.
32-year-old Sam Ware, who hails from Wood Lagoon in Central Province, is the newly appointed coach for Team NCD for Taekwondo. Ware was also one of the athletes who took part in last year's Pacific Games for Team PNG. The appointment is a big step for him. Warrior is looking to give the athletes the best he can as a coach.
Coach, previous years I've been fighting, representing the NCD team, and hopefully this coming here, Master Stones has given me this opportunity to be the NCD coach, and I just want to say thank you to him.
Former Team NCD Taekwondo coach veteran Jamuga Stone was proud and pleased to pass on the coaching job and knows that he will lead the team well in the coming PNG Games. Mike Koime, National EMTV Sports.
Heading overseas, and the Australian Green team has won the Hopman Cup for the 2016. Nick Kyrgios led the charge for the Aussies, showing good form ahead of the Australian Open later this month.
With the Australian Open just days away, Australian Nick Kyrgios was impressive in the Hopman Cup as he powered the host nation to the mixed team Hopman Cup title against Ukraine yesterday. Kyrgios and Daria Graviola, playing for Australia Green, one of two teams representing the host nation, won both their singles matches in straight sets against Alexander Dolgopolov and Elina Svitolina respectively. Kyrgios, who defeated world number 2 Britain's Andy Murray during his 4-match winning run this week, brushed aside the challenge from Dolgopolov 6-3, 6-4 after the 36th ranked Graviola had opened with a 6-4, 7-6 win over Svitolina. Australia's only precious Hopman Cup title came in 1999, while the last time they had reached the final was 13 years ago. The victories at the Perth event will boost world number 30 Kyrgios' confidence as he prepares for the first Grand Slam of the season beginning in Melbourne on the 18th of January. Dion Kombeng, National EMTV Sports.
That concludes our sporting actions for today. Stay with us for the weather details after this break.
Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, fine for Port Moresby, Kerema, Alatau and Popondetta, and fine and windy for Daru. In the Momase region, fine for Lae City, Medang and Wewak and Vanuatu. In the New Guinea Islands, fine for Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul with brief showers for Buka and Kimbe. And in the Highlands region, mostly fine then morning fog for Mount Hagen and fine then morning fog for Goroka, Mendi, Wabeg and Kundiawa. That's how we end the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 10th of January 2016. From all of us here in EMTV, good night.